Over the Labor Day weekend in Melbourne, the biannual Newport Railway Workshops Open Day was held. G'day everyone! In this episode, I'm going to tell you all about this stellar event. But before we get into the episode, just be sure to be subscribed so you can keep up to date with all my upcoming railway adventures that I've got coming out in the future. Anyway, let's have a look at this awesome event. So Newport Workshops, located in Melbourne's southwest, is home to 3 preservation groups: Steamrail, 707 Operations and Dermpav. And every 2 years they open up the facility to the public to come and see what they're all about, as well as giving a platform to some other groups. This year there were also locomotives from the Mornington Railway and Puffing Billy, as well as miniature, model railways and more. Now this video is really just going to be a highlight reel of what was on show. So if you'd like to watch nothing but trains with no narration, I do believe that there are a lot of videos up by now of the day going off how many rail fans were there with their cameras. My suggestion is Adam's video on his channel, Pania. Now in 2022, they really upped the ante with 10 steam locomotives, 9 of which were in steam. Starting with the celebration of 100 years of the K-Class locomotive with 4 working K-Classes on display. Steamrail's K190 in its London, Midland and Scottish Railways Crimson Lake livery, K183 in its beautiful dark blue with yellow lining, Mornington Railway's green K183 fresh from 2 years of restoration at the workshops, and the star of the day, K153, which has been mocked up to represent class leader K100, with its smoke deflectors removed, original headlamp fitted, and a flared top tender. All the locomotives, however, did look spectacular. As well as that, they had R761 and R711 for everyone to take a look in the cab and get a chance to have a look around the footplate of these big Hudson locomotives. R711 was also fitted with a whistle that I was told was off an American Challenger locomotive, which was extremely imposing. Let's just have a listen. Class leader R700 was also there, which is in long-term restoration. As well as that, 707 Operations did have their locomotive, R707 there, as a static display. Australia's oldest mainline locomotive, Y112, was also steaming, as well as D3639. Now something you normally wouldn't see this far down south was Puffing Billy's American-built 1928 locomotive, the Climax 1694. Although it remained on a low loader, as there isn't much usable 2-foot 6-inch gauge track left at Newport anymore, it was in steam for everyone to have a look around at this little wood burner. Over to electric traction, they did also have the newly returned to mainline running Tate set there in its early 1900s glory. As well as that, some static L classes. The Harris Greaser set had seen a slight cosmetic restoration. As well as that, the CM parcel van was on display, as well as some other Tate bits in various stages of preservation. As well as that, L1169 also had received a recent paint job, as I believe it has got a cameo in another film. Dermpav had their rail motor on display, as well as their shed was open that houses some upcoming projects. As well as that, all the groups had other locomotives and rolling stock on display in various states of restoration. V-Line were also in attendance with their new Velocity VL90 with the cab open, which was a real treat, as I guess most of us never get to see inside the cab of a mainline locomotive. As well as that, they'd also brought along shunting locomotive Y161, P12, P15, and N465, the City of Ballarat. Now, this was excellent, a great way to spend the day, and hats off to everyone who organised this event. As well as the folks that were out there in the sun for the 3 days, and I mean, I was there for 1 day and I was ruined. I can't imagine how they were feeling by the end of it. And it was also great to meet so many of you who watch the channel, and thank you to everyone who stopped to say hello. It actually means quite a lot, and it's really nice to meet you all. Thank you so much. Now, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. These tours don't run off nice photos and blindside videos. They run off time and money, and that's one of the best ways you can actively support them into the future, by doing things like attending these events, riding the trains, and if you've got the time, even volunteer at these places to keep them going. Now, another thing is the Save Newport Workshops petition. The government, through its agency VicTrack, is seeking to remove these heritage operators from the workshops. And the future of these workers, heritage listed workshops, is uncertain. Although this hasn't really gained much traction recently, it is still something that is lingering over these groups' heads. So I'll leave a link to the petition below, and be sure to sign it, because we don't want to lose such a valuable piece of history, as well as the potential demise of these kind of groups. Anyway, that's my message about supporting these kind of groups and organisations, no matter where you are in the world. We all have our local tourist railways and heritage operators and museums, and I can't stress enough that financially supporting them is the best way to keep these places going, as well as that if you can volunteer, do it. I realise that we all have our lives to live and there are a lot of things going on, but if you can, I do encourage you to do it. Now, I'll leave links in the description below to all the preservation and heritage groups that were out there over the weekend, where you can find information about becoming a member, upcoming tours, and all that kind of good stuff. Now, if you did attend the weekend, what was your highlight? For me, it was just a great weekend. It was great to see everyone out there having a great time, whether they were rail fans or new fans or just people who wanted to come see what it was all about. Everyone seemed to be having a really, really great time, and that's, I think, the best takeaway. As well as that, I mean, you get to go play trains for a weekend. That's always a good weekend. Anyway, if you had a highlight from that weekend, leave it in the description below, or if you just enjoyed the video or have any feedback, of course. And of course, I do appreciate all feedback and comments, and I do aim to reply to everyone. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you do like this video and you want to keep up to date with everything I've got coming out in the future, don't forget to be subscribed, because, well, it helps out you and it helps out me. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again on another railway adventure really, really soon. Hooroo!
Woo!